What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode in our Nighthawks Relocation Fantasy Draft franchise. It's week 1 of Season 3. The preseason has already passed, and we actually had an undefeated record in the preseason, and the performances were, decent. Nothing too spectacular, but overall, this is what the roster looks like. The starting roster, there was some talks about Diami versus Sky Moore at number 2. Some talks about maybe moving Sky Moore to number 3, but I feel like it's very harsh on Tutu Atwell, who has put up way better seasons, it seems, than Sky Moore has for us. So, I don't know. We'll kind of see how it plays out, but as of right now, Diami's number 2, and the main reason is because Sky Moore, as usual, is injured. Dislocated his shoulder in practice, and he's out for another week. It just seems like it's a constant for him. Of course, Gamble, the start of elementary quarterback, now had a very good rookie year. Trying to build on that, maybe protect the ball a little bit better than he did previously. Of course, Hawkins, I don't even think got to 1,000 yards. Of course, once again, he was also injured a game or two last season. Still improved, though, 4.7 yards per carry. Just had less attempts. Once again, injury. Gibbs, guy that probably didn't get as many handoffs as he probably should have. A lot of upgrades for these guys. Of course, the offensive line. The left side's pretty solid. The right side, Newhouse, actually was very impressive in his rookie year. There's a lot of potential here. We just need to actually stay healthy as well, because that's been a problem specifically for the O-line. Of course, Woolen and Booker, a damn good duo who is quietly becoming a top 5 duo in the league. Both superstar, both with 2 upgrades. Henry, the starting but DT. And then I was going to go on to the linebackers. Darren Porter, who is looking more and more like an absolute problem for teams in the future. Obviously, his coverage rating's a little rough. Block shedding needs to get there, but he is a tank with some speed. Of course, this team is looking good and on the up and up. Of course, Sharp, the strong safety, playing over Tyson Anderson. A lot of potential here as well. But a bunch of upgrades. Channing Tindall, of course, a guy that kind of lost his steam near the end of the season. Jabril Cox kind of seemed like the better of the 2 linebackers, if we're going to be honest. But, of course, Tindall with a lot more potential. Really good tackling. Terrell Ferguson, the true X receiver here. I'm trying to think about what I want. I need that catching to get up there. And I know physical's good for that, but screw, we're going to go physical. Deep threat. Sucks to lose the scheme, but it's not as important. Spec catch +2, medium route, short route, or not short route, but catching and catching traffic, stiff arm, trucking. All pretty damn good things for a bigger wide receiver trying to make jump balls happen, of course. Then we have Jabril Cox, who, once again, is just, he's developing so slowly, but he is a solid contributor. He's very good at tackling for us, which is a little surprising. He's only 83 tackle. Gibbs, had a bit of juice, gave us a nice spark, but then just kind of lost it, once again, near the end of the season, middle to towards the end, to be fair. Booker, we got to get that zone coverage up. I love slot upgrades, but you got to just get the zone coverage up, because right now we're just too high in the man coverage, and we mix it up quite a bit and probably do play slightly more zone than we do man anyways. Gets pretty much dead even. Woolen, slot we can actually probably go with here, because he's actually pretty much even as well. Man coverage +2. And we'll do one more slot just for the road. What do we get? An agility, a 2 to man, and 1 to zone. That's, those are dubs, right? 78 man, 77 zone, pretty much the same as Booker. Jordan Davis, already a very good power move guy. I'm actually thinking we're going to go with block shed for the first time. Or run stopper in the pursuit of block shed at +1 to strength isn't too bad either. Hawkins, what are his ratings? Juke move, maybe this is the year he finally gets something like jukebox or evasive, which he gets literally nothing towards breaking tackles or anything like that. Diami Brown, of course, a very good deep route guy. Need to get that short route going. So I'm going to go with slot, even though he is the number 2 wide receiver. Kind of built perfectly for that as well. And gets 2 to short, 2 to catch, and that's really nice. Gamble, obviously, we've been going with improviser, which I think still makes a lot of sense for him, which is 2 to under pressure. Fair enough. He's pretty even across the board for his styles. And it's hard to tell, but I think we need a little bit more pass coverage for Porter than run block. So or run stopping anyways. Change of direction +1, which is nice. The coverage ratings, nothing crazy, but it's still a +1 across. Tutu Atwell, we really need that release up. I do want to build him as that short route guy, though, so I'm going to just keep going slot, I think, and just hope the release upgrades come along with anyways, and they really don't. But he gets a +2 to catching, which now puts him at 88, which is actually probably one of the most clutch players on the team when it comes to that. We're going to go with 1 finesse, or speed rusher, if you will, and then probably a block shed upgrade attempt, +2 to hit power, which is actually pretty damn juiced. And he gets a run stopper, which is a +3 to block shed, which is really nice. Out of the yellow into the greenish. Really good player. Obviously had 20+ sacks last season. Kind of got locked down in the last game of the season, but really good blocker there, so we're not really too worried about it. Of course, now that we got all those upgrades out of the way, which took a long freaking time, I must say, let's go to the Titans. Of course, I knew their quarterback is, but we'll still go in there and show you Mr. Trevor Lawrence. Actually kind of developing pretty slowly here for them. Chris Carson, when healthy, is good, and of course, it's the start of the season, so you expect him to at least be healthy for this game. Wide receivers, kind of on the tall side, but not super athletic, but that has caused us problems. We actually lost against Seattle, which is exactly how they were built. Gerald Everett, he's definitely aging. He's not that fast anymore. Left tackle's iffy, left guard's really iffy, center's solid, right guard's solid, right tackle is awful. Left end is pretty damn good, right end is decent. DT is potentially the best in the entire league. Boyd looks all right here for block shedding. Khalil Mack is still around. He's still looking good enough. Jaon's really good. Brandon Smith's solid. Oscar Hernandez, kind of young, looking okay. Cornerbacks 1 and 2 look really solid. Free safety's great. Strong safety's pretty good too. So, I mean, kind of like an average team. Nothing crazy. They don't really even have many superstars, if any. I mean, what do they have? Vita Vea, of course, Khalil Mack, like we said, is kind of about, the retirement stage. But I honestly feel like this is a really good statement game for us. A game where, they're kind of average. They don't really have any crazy names. So it's one of those on the books. You're thinking, this is a game we should probably win, right? Once again, we are a little bit on the unknown status, but we are climbing there. Brian Burns is pretty much one of the best pass rushers in the league, and even though some of our other guys are lower overalls and younger, they're also climbing that, the rankings. And as a full unit, especially with the athleticism, the size, this is a team to fear. And like I said, if we can put up a nice performance here and win by a good margin, could put the league on watch early and really get that confidence rolling. If we could come out of this game without an interception thrown, that would be fantastic. Of course, thankfully, getting to avoid the chance of throwing that interception on the first drive of the game it will be Tennessee's ball. I mean, they're not really going to show us too much because the season is literally just starting. I'm pretty stoked. We got some pretty good rookies. Dimey Brown's our, first kind of big free agent signing, if you will. It's not really big, but you know what I mean. Stokes, a very high potential number 3 slot corner. I mean, all it takes is a breakout or two, a couple of interceptions, and I mean, he could make for easily the best trio of cornerbacks in NFL history. I know it's crazy to think, but can you really... Oh, wow, we are already getting torched on the first play. Can you really think of a team with more athletic, better talented corners? It's a really solid squad with that potential, like we said, of course, bringing everyone up. Not, super risky of a run, but they do have the formation looking like it might be, and that's exactly what happens, and Jordan Davis kind of getting a piece of him as Tyndall sacrifices his body to get a play, and of course they're going to show Sharp as he came in there to make that play. 5 rookies, all 5 with a chance to contribute big time this year. It's crazy, kind of crazy to think because we already have a young squad, so finding guys that can start because they're that good is not the easiest thing in the world outside, and that is just a really good jump ball by Sutton, who's made a living doing that, obviously. In good position, but in better position is the wide receiver. It's one of those situations where we always talk about it. The underthrown ball is almost debatably better than the perfectly thrown one, as Jabril Cox and Henry kind of stumbling out the gate there, but doing enough to get to the ball carrier and limiting them to 0 yards. 2nd and 10 after the gain of nothing. They kind of caught us with a quick hike, and it's going to work out pretty well. Scott is in man coverage there, giving up 9-ish yards. And I know what 9 looks like, very much so easily. As we're going to bring the big boys in there. Henry gets pushed to the ground, and underneath, Jabril with a huge hit, but unfortunately going to hold on for the first down. A little bit of a weird call for them to go for a pass like that under center on 3rd and 1, but we couldn't get in there, so I suppose it works out anyways. Porter can't really get out there, and that's going to be a rookie mistake by him, and we missed with a short arm hit stick off the edge. I thought we easily had that. He like T-Rexed it, and Carson just walks in. Porter really not stringing it along and kind of just walks into a block. Of course, Tyndall didn't do too much better. Woolen doesn't get out there, gets chipped last second, and like I said, I felt like we had the range with Sharp, and he kind of T-Rexes. I'm not sure what that was. But here we go with potentially the new return man, Freeman. I love Nwangwu, but at the same time, if we're going to have both of them out here at the same time, probably makes more sense for the bigger Nwangwu to be a blocker with the chance to return it rather than Freeman to be a blocker with a chance to return it, you know? So we'll see how that works out. Nwangwu is pretty fluid. He was a pretty good return man for us last year, and it's kind of what he's brought on the roster to do. We obviously lost Ty Chandler, so he will have a chance maybe more than last season to actually receive the ball on offense, but still, overall, we kind of have him as our return guy. Let's see what we can do here on first down. And that's going to be a quick throw. Purposely threw it behind him, and it works out as we get the first down. Stretch play, but they look like they're ready, so I think we're going to actually run the 2 tight end over the middle. And did we just get tackled by our running back? How did that happen? Our center absolutely sold. That was horrendous. I don't know what the hell we're looking at there, but we wanted it all with Diami, and instead we get nothing. We actually get sacked. Should have taken the underneath of the tight end. He would have been at least maybe a gain of back to the original line. Instead, it's a 3rd and 29 now, as the blockers are really not doing a whole lot for us. And we're going to go to Tutu, who just gets open, and he will score. Tutu Atwell from the slot, getting the big play touchdown, dancing. I mean, kind of like Lil Nas X, to be honest. I'm just saying. Of course, an absolute dot, maybe slightly underthrown. Had to slow down for it, but of course, so open it doesn't matter. The free safety like jumped down on it, and then Delpit was pretty much left one-on-one with Tutu, which is just not a good matchup for him. And Porter underneath. Can we please? Good tackle by Sharp. Porter underneath, trying to cover Everett one-on-one. Not a great matchup, but once again, he has that athleticism. Just the coverage, oh my, speaking of bad matchups, could have been even worse. Porter over the middle, and there is nobody on Trevor Lawrence, and he will just throw it away. He wanted a big play, and he probably should have just ran, because now it's a 3rd and 5, and they might be forced off the field rather than him just running for the easy one, as Jordan Davis is going to get locked up. And it's overthrown. Stearns with the pick, spin move, and taken down to the 47. Miscommunication by the receiver and the quarterback. Of course, it helped them that last play with Booker. And instead, this time, it's disastrous as it's just way overthrown. Maybe the pressure played a little bit into it as well. And yeah, I mean, he was open. But Stearns kind of in the right place at the lucky time, if you will, getting us the ball back with a pretty good starting field position. And who is this? Is that Diami? Holds on to it to the 29. I thought it was going to be the 30 on the nose, but over 100 yards already on just 3 attempts. The quarterback, of course, 3 attempts. You know, of course, on the play action, Tutu Atwell looking pretty good. And he drops the ball. Can't even blame him there. That corner drove down. Actually, it was Grant Delpit. I remember that number pretty well now. Yeah, try not to be on the run. We were still moving, though, believe it or not. And here's Woodley. Unfortunately, the pressure gets to us, and we cannot get a clean one off. It's going to be overthrown. Now facing a 3rd and 10. Kind of choking this drive away, but we're going to go with the screen pass. As no one's really on it. Hawkins is not going to get out there in time, though. We're going to lose yards. So not a bad little play to gain the first down, and then just 3 straight terrible ones to cost us yardage. Hopefully, still good for the field goal. That was a little iffy. First attempt of the year for a field goal, almost missed. There we go. Special teams looking decent as we get them to the 20. Brian Burns off the edge. Looks like it will be a run. Brian Burns double teamed, and with that, it's going to allow Sharp to get out there. Unfortunately, can't bring him down, but he has the help of the squad. Porter there first after him. Porter also making Tyndall look very small, which, of course, when you compare him to Porter, he is. He's huge. He is actually a mammoth. 2nd and 11 from the 18-yard line. Jordan Davis doing enough as there was a bit of room there. If he gets a cleaner pocket, probably gets the bullet that thing short, get a huge completion of 30 or 40, but instead waited a little too long, and then right as he was getting that read, pressure right in his face. Of course, we're going to let that running back have. I did not think the middle linebacker was going to leave him. Was that just a miscommunication, or what's the story? I think in general, we kind of just misjudged how deep it was. The linebacker actually was already like 10 to 15 out. I thought he was going to step up, though. Instead, we should have been the one to take it because we were already really shallow anyways, and that's just a blown opportunity. Booker, really good tackle after getting torched on the sit-down. A gain of a whole 7 yards, though. Porter going to try to get back over last second. Maybe give, a little... Oh, it's a screen. And almost picked by, who's that? Henry, I think. Bringing a bit of heat. And that's a really good in. He missed hard with, I think, Stearns. Woolen making a really good play there. Tried to bait out the other receiver, and they just had a lot of people open. We obviously brought the blitz because it's kind of a double whammy. 3rd and 3, there's a good chance they do run it, and, you're covering the run, and if not, you're getting the quarterback anyway. Sharp reading the situation, and stiff arm by Carson. Huge hit by Booker, and an injury to Everett. A lot going on that play. Not a whole lot of defense, but a lot going on in general, sadly. Tyndall going against the tight end, and Porter, man, I ain't gonna lie, he's looking a little lost out here. And he's an absolute physical specimen. But as far as the smarts go, he's kind of looking a little out of his elements, but that's all right. It's okay. First game of actual real action is always going to be kind of tough, as he actually steps up to the plate that time and brings him down. If he doesn't, that's a touchdown again. 2nd quarter, Porter having a tough task here right now. You got the sit down. Of course, nobody's on the outside there. Good job by Woolen, who's always physical. To the 5 now. It really does feel like you have an extra DT out there with Porter, man. He's so big. Stearns can't get him. Porter kind of getting beat, but still stands him enough and gets some help, making him lose 2. We got the blitz look, but I think we're actually going to pull off Tyndall. We're going to let, I think it was Booker off the edge, get in there and make a play. Step in. Oh, we got bumped, but he doesn't really see it. Did maybe have Booker in the back there. Who actually was blitzing? Was it Stearns? Who was Woolen? I don't freaking know. Man coverage here. I really don't like this. This is bad. Burns gets the free rush. Burns with the sack at the most important time, and that will lead to a field goal. Burns kind of going with like the traditional run and make a juke move, or like a stab move, whatever. This time he just uses pure speed and crushes the quarterback. Never seen it coming. No chance to get that out, and a huge play to limit them to 3. We got the speedster Scott off the edge here. Gonna try to block it. Can't. And it will be all tied up again at 10. No chance to return. It's going to be a fresh set of downs at the 25-yard line, and we're going to start it off with a nice little run. Not really getting help any help from the guard. Almost a face mask call there by Bird, but it's fine. I just call him Bird. Diami Brown just going. Should have taken Woolen early. That's a tough one, and it's on the money to Tutu Atwell, who is, just like in the postseason, come alive quickly and often. 1st and 10 from the 44. No blocking at all off the edge. We actually had a chance. All we need is that first block, and we could have used that to just speed run outside the edge, and just no chance. No blocks. I mean, what can you do? Ferguson one-on-one. Doesn't really have it. Woodley, of course, no chances. I mean, they're locking us up in press man. That is not a good sign for us. Press man, they bring the blitz, and there's just nobody beaten free. And underneath, we bet on the running back being covered, And he kind of was. 49-yard line, 4th and 3. This is a situation where you go for it. There's just simply no argument against this. Like, it's just, the punt range is just not favorable. And that is a wide open Woodley who's just burning. Of course, no block from Diami, but we're patient. We actually got some blocks for once, and we convert. Going up against, once again, that really good run defense line. Getting a block on Vita Vea, actually, as Hawkins falling forward, gains 11. Went with the hurry up, and we're going to go with verticals. The running back is wide open, Mr. Hawkins. And kind of gives up the first down with that spin, potentially, but even if he does, that's actually debatably a positive thing. Kind of liking Diami Brown for a touchdown, maybe. And it's not going to be in Gamble May, though. He's going to get some room, and he scores! How many yards was that, 20? The man showing off the speed. Once again, finally came alive with the ground game for himself in the later portion of last season. Utilizing his legs there to gain about a, 20-some yard touchdown. Nice little block from Diami and slips it. Crazy to think how many people like swarmed to the ball there. It was actually so many players. Porter going against the replacement tight end. And he's going to have a block assignment, and we cannot be giving that up. That was basically a double team, and we couldn't stop him. Stearns running up on that hook. Kind of want to maybe debate blitzing with him. And we did a great job. If it was actually play action, we would have killed him. Fortunately, it wasn't. Carson gains the first. They've got a lot of players here on the line of scrimmage, so we're going to match them. Run mid. And Sharp needs to get out there. Gets taken down by his own guy. It's one-on-one against Woolen. Misses the tackle. Pushed out by Stokes to the 1. That is unfortunate. Carmichael now in the game, bringing every linebacker available here. And that is a really bad call. They lose 6. Did you see Jordan Davis, by the way, getting in there like a madman? I mean, he kills the fullback, or he's going to until he realized it wasn't him having the ball. Obviously, Brian Burns jumping over the line as well like a madman, getting to there first. Crazy, man, stuff. Bringing the blitz, but obviously, we're not committed to it fully. Porter one-on-one against the running back here. And back of the end zone, picked by Booker. Ill-advised throw by Trevor. The man-to-man across the board finally goes in our favor. Do they not realize who these number 1 and 2 corners are? They probably led the league in picks last year. They absolutely killed it. Of course, he gets the feet down. Thankfully, he didn't land on his foot. That would have been really bad for both players, but mainly us. And Titans fans are pissed, as that was a golden opportunity to score. They were at the 1 with a fresh set of downs, and instead, it's a pick. Going to go the stretch to the left. Of course, they do have some pretty good edge defenders, but we should have the personnel, and we never do. Hawkins utilizing his speed to gain 2. Really should have gained nothing. Good fight. All right, the true winner of yards for us last season on the ground was the read option. Going to go with it here, and as like usual, it works out. Still got to work on that slide, though. Gain about 9. 2-minute warning. Got the play action look after a couple of short type of plays. And that is just a force that will be intercepted. We're just predetermining. I really thought he was going to cover Cole Turner, which he probably should have, but it works out for the pick. Byard's that good, and I knew at the snap it was supposed to be a jet sweep, and they just had it covered pre-snap. Jet sweep to the left here is just dead, so he audibled. Probably should have just burned a timeout instead, and instead of just taking the wide open Cole Turner, I know we had pressure. We ended up going for Woodley, who did for a moment there actually look like he was going to jump down on that, but stays with it, and just a stupid ill-advised pick. Already pick number 1 on the season. 1st and 10 from the 20. Drake Jackson trying to win with the speed rush. Jordan Davis gets him instead. Boom. Thankfully for us, we are playing against Trevor Lawrence, who looks completely out of his element, but still, Jordan Davis on the double team, trying to work the inside. Damn, Sharp, I need a pop, dude. You got that 88 hit power. I need a pop. We'll actually call a timeout here. Even though clearly we should be trusted with extra time, right? We're not going to blow that. Double move on the inside. Porter's in really good coverage. Oh, Lord. I was about to say, we were in good coverage for a second. I was like, wait a minute. If he's throwing it, maybe we aren't. But, yeah, we absolutely were. That was a really bad decision. If the throw was on target, 6'4" frame Porter may have had it. He's a rookie with a pick. That would have been fun. Of course, you knew there was going to be a pick every damn game, but let's try to make it only one interception. Really bad decision, obviously. Freeman on the return. Bad decisions, kind of running the whole scheme today. As that was a pretty bad decision to return. It gets it at 21, though. Potentially looking for the out route with Ferg. Let's see how he runs it if he does. Not really that good. Woodley underneath. Kind of a bad throw. Set him up for a freaking hit stick, maybe. Going a little bit deep here with this play. There's no one on Woodley, and the throw is on the money. He's going to get out of bounds. Maybe could have rounded it for a chance down the sideline, but I was like, Delpit has been burned a little bit today, but he hasn't been burned that badly, right? And I'm not going to bet against Byard here. We're going to go with the screen. And there's nobody out there, but they kind of play it too shallow. And we get a bunch of yards while getting out of bounds. I know we have 2 timeouts, but it would be nice to hold on to those as long as possible. Ferguson, instead of the C route, we're going to try to just open up Hawkins here. And speaking of opening things up, looking downfield, but not seeing it. Gamble takes off again. Kind of an unnecessary hit there, but gains 21. Gets out of bounds. No fumbles, no injuries. We're moving. Really bad interception, you know, bad throw and whatnot, but we're moving after the fact. And we're going to take that shot. It's a dot. Ferg for the touchdown. I was a little worried to make another one of those classic bad decisions. I was thinking ill-advised, and instead it's a dot while being hit on the run. I mean, we've had some knucklehead miss throws under pressure, but he hits that one, of course. Maybe it helps a little bit that he was wide open, but I don't care what the situation is. That's a good throw, and that's a makeup for that interception, leading to a touchdown. Absolutely beautiful vision to keep the eyes down the field while there's a guy right on you. It's the power of being agile, the power of being athletic, able to keep the play alive as long as possible, knowing you could potentially outrun the guy, especially since it was Vita Vea, or just throw it away. But hit that throw. They're going to booth review it just to be safe, but that's a TD. Of course, that will be halftime. Obviously, a very big advantage in our side. I would like to run the ball a little bit more, as they have obviously beat us in the ground game quite a bit. But overall, their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, has made so many mistakes that it just hasn't played a factor yet, and hopefully will not at all. But we definitely need to just get a better mixture of runs. I'm still going to say throw it medium, but obviously, we still... I'm actually going to stop. I want to force him to throw it. We still want to try and run the ball, even though we're focusing on medium throws still. Juan Freeman, another chance to return it. He's actually probably been too fast for his own good so far, as Freeman finds a little crease, gets in near the 30. Freeman does seem like a pure good kick returner. It's just, will he get the blocks? And once again, Nwangwu can hold up a little bit tougher, so we'll be paying attention to that. But as of right now, I don't mind it. And that's the wrong way, Hawkins. Spin move to the wrong way, and stretch plays, dive plays, pretty much anything we've tried to call on the ground has not gone our favor. And we might go for the whole shebang here with Woodley. I mean, they're kind of leaving him. And we're forced to just throw it to Tutu, who's going to gain next to nothing. Hawkins may have been open. It kind of felt like outside of that comeback route on the left, I think it was probably covered across the board. Oh, damn, Hawkins was pretty open. We'd had to throw it right here, or like right around here, but still, that comeback right... Oh, it wasn't a comeback. What the hell was it? Was it an in-cut? I thought it was a comeback route from... Yeah, this is the play. I thought it was a comeback route. I guess not. Got a lot going on this play. And that is a tough one. And dropped by Woodley. He had the chance and just dropped it. Matariza, first chance to punt it. Stokes really not doing a good job of getting out there, but still fine enough as the punt is great. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could have got that throw off a little sooner. I was worried we were getting baited again, to be honest, so played a little safer and then ended up being a little bit too tough for the tight end to catch it. Porter running in there, but getting caught up, but thankfully the group brings him down. Gains a yard or two. Once again, we focus on stopping the run, and there's a reason, because once again, we want them to throw it. The way they've played today in the past game has not been good for them. Tyndall trying to manage things. Porter misses the tackles. Chris Carson is just breaking everything, but still, it's going to be a 3rd and 2. You can see why they're forcing the run, though, because if they're going to get away with it, they have all the time in the world. They need to just get the run working. And Porter, one-on-one, gets the help, I think, from Sharp, killing the edge blocker. And that will be a stop. Wangwu getting his chance to return it on the punt. Of course, I really, really want to see a freaking hit stick from Porter, but may have to wait. As Wangwu's going to run it, cut it back left. Gets popped himself, but still a decent little return. Got what he could. Inside handoff to Hawkins. I don't know how I really feel about this, but it seems like they're not going to be ready for it. And we get the blocks. Oh, kind of locked us up, though. I need Jackson to kind of run Byard over, though, if you don't mind. Second and 1 with the 5 wide. Got the QB scramble. Seems a little desperate to do, but it works out. Well, barely, apparently. Jonah Jackson, man, really hasn't been that dominant. 2-2 Atwell. We actually kind of look all right here. I'd rather have Woodley off the line if I could, but I don't think I can. So, first and 10, we're going to run it there, and 2-2 Atwell can't get the in cut, and gets kind of lit up by Delpit for a gain of only 1. Got the heavy formation in. They're freaking ready for it. Of course they are. 2nd and 9 from the 47-yard line, though. Gibbs powering his way through for a gain of about 6. I like that. We're going to take a page out of their book. We're going to run it on 3rd and 3. It really just comes down to not, getting sacked, and we're probably looking at points regardless. And nice speed with Hawkins to just find the little crease. Halfback dive up the middle, running opposite side of Vita Vea. Well, at least as much as physically possible. Of course, Jonah Jackson sells again, and we only get a yard. Gibbs with another chance up the middle, getting not a whole lot of blocks, actually. Number 51 has been very surprising on that. Look. A couple of times now, he's gotten a piece of us when I just didn't expect him to. Curl route from Diami, which is a little risky. That's a tough one. And why is Diami not going for that? Why is he not going for this? Even here, that is a great throw to save, in an interception chance. Of course, it goes off his foot. Could have been tipped up for a pick for all you know. But, with that kind of pressure, you want to keep it low. You don't want an ill-advised pick 6 or something like that. And Diami just sold. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Field goal puts us up by 14, but drive should have probably continued. Coming in on 2nd and 4. A lot of different corners playing against a lot of different wide receivers. We don't really have, that's not good. Thankfully they did run it, and Woolen, who was probably supposed to cover it, Graz, didn't, and they did an audible. I don't know if Trevor didn't see it, but it actually kind of worked out because we had the extra name there. Jordan Davis. Of course, Scott, speaking of, gets burned. Throw almost leads him too far out, but so far doing a really good job in pass coverage so far. Libanese a lot. Sharp can't get out there one-on-one. Oh my God, guys. And everyone's going to miss. And that's exactly the play Tennessee needs to get back into it. Chris Carson is the MVP of the game so far, without a doubt. How many people, of course, really insane blocks, as usual, of course. But how many people are going to miss 2 there? Obviously, Tyndall's not going to get him because he took a terrible angle there. Woolen misses the oh my, dude. And just like that, we're back out on offense. Only up a possession. Brilliant stuff. Of course, we actually did block to this side, so we could get ourselves a decent little return. As Freeman's not down yet. What? I think he thought he was down, but he wasn't. Maybe his knee touches he was getting him. I don't know, but I feel like a blown opportunity. I don't know why. Because it's a play action, I can't audible Ferguson to be like a fade streak, which kind of sucks. And this looks like a throwaway. I didn't really see any openings. Maybe somebody was open on the quick, but I didn't see any quick looks personally. 2nd and 10, we probably should have went back to the run because that actually kind of is what we got. What got us down the field in the first place. Cole Turner, we missed you earlier. Kind of tries to truck, gets caught up by the guy that was supposed to cover him in the first place. A gain of 8. And Gibbs has been pretty much guaranteed to gain a yard, so we're going to, or 2 yards anyways. We're going to trust him. And it's not him that you got to worry about because the fullback just doesn't even do his job. Leaves the play. 4th and 1. I mean, it's our own 35, but at the same time, defense doesn't seem to be capable anyways. Read option look, and Gamble, I think, has it. Oh my god, I need Gamble to fight harder. I know it's Khalil Mack, but dude, please. Literally no need to scare me like that, of course. Got there quickly and didn't fumble. That's all you can ask for. Up the middle, Hawkins. Gonna get no blocks again. I get they blitz, but we felt like we had the personnel there. Turner maybe on the play action. Pretty damn open, actually, and Turner's going to make a really good play to gain about 12. Actually, 14. Jeff Epp, when you ask him what age they... Nothing. 1st and 10. Going to go with a quick underneath to Diami, and I didn't think he was going to get that open. Went for the sit-down because I thought somebody was going to try to blow him up there, and nobody came in. It's just should have gotten more yards on that. It's all right, though. Play action. And there is Diami. Speaking of, how is that picked? And he's still going. In what world is that picked? I mean, if we're going to go anywhere, it's either Woodley or the wide receiver. I mean, it is a little late, I'll admit, but he's in front of it. What? How? Catch it. Wow, that's absolutely nuts. He actually looks like a center fielder waiting for the pitch. And I don't know baseball, so, that hurt me to even attempt to say. Well, just like that, the Nighthawks are back to their old ways of choking again. I honestly, if I was Gamble, I know it's crazy to request a trade. I'd request a trade. I don't even care. Nice hit by Booker, the only guy that seems to know how to tackle on this damn team. We have literal DTs, linemen, linebackers, everybody missing tackles on Chris Carson. And it comes down to Booker making a one-on-one shot to the knees. Of course, Booker helping there. Jabril Cox, of course, another guy that knows how to tackle in fairness, but he's been usually on his back the majority of the game, so it's kind of irrelevant. 3rd and 4, let's bring some help to Burns' side. Try to get him to burn, speaking of, and there is nobody there. Porter with a huge hit, but fortunately it won't mean anything as they will hold on to possession, and it's another fresh set. We got linebackers all over the place here. Oh, that is... Oh, Wolin. That's a nice little cut outside. I thought it was going to be an inside play. Didn't really see the wide receivers making moves to the inside, so I was like, surely this is going to be an inside move for the tight end, so somebody can attack that side of the field, but I guess not. Porter, another hit! Of course, it's a forced fumble, and it leads to a first down. Porter with the forced fumble, and everybody misses the recovery. Stearns one-on-one. If it's a pass, we kind of need to stop it. Stearns, nice tackle on the running back. Still gains the first, though. Man blitz. Of course, we trust the corners entirely on the exteriors. And that's a great tackle by Stearns. Going to only gain 1. And we get the blitz with Porter. It's not an easy job of coverage. Porter, come on. Nobody's grabbing him. Thank God Jabril gets over there. He gains about 2 or 3. Now a 3rd and goal from the 5. 5 minutes left. Come on, Drake. You've been pretty irrelevant this game. Spin move doesn't work. Back of the end zone. Dropped, and Jabril is napping. Ball hits Jabril right in the face. Doesn't get it for a pick. And now they have another chance here to, on 4th and goal, tie the game. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Good job, Jabril. I know it's not him on the coverage there, but he caused that. He had the interception and just didn't get it. Unfreaking believable. Brian Burns on the block. Obviously not going to get there, but all tied up. Had 2 touchdown lead, and we choked it away with dumb, boneheaded mistakes. Gotta love the wide receivers not catching the ball, leading to interceptions. And Freeman, his worst return of the day, of course, comes at the most important time from the 18 now. If we get a touchdown, we kind of win the game. Got a lot of bodies in here trying to run the ball up the middle. And we're going to gain about a yard as usual. So our run game sucks. It'd be nice if we had anyone that could win a route deep. And there goes Hawkins. And of course, Gamble misses. There really hasn't been much going that was his fault today. But that is a huge mistake. And now he is attributing to the issues. Of course, they're kind of ready for the outside. So Woodley may be up the middle. It's not going to be. And there goes Ferguson. slipping in behind the defense, trucking everyone in sight for a gain of 20. Huge play. Didn't want to bullet it because I just don't trust this damn quarterback now. Gamble is like, he's just all over the place sometimes. If we have time, we're going to flip it. And there is nobody on Diami who is going to catch it and move upfield to the 42. Now maybe it's time to get a little bit more cautious. Really sucks not having a legit ground game, but here we are. From the 42, Hawkins up the middle. And we didn't trust that left side, and wow, it worked out anyways. Gained about 6 or 7. Nobody got a hand on him. Anytime we run into the open field where there's supposedly blocks, it closes up instantly, which is why we decided to follow the right side, because there seemed to be some movement, and thankfully it just worked out. And look at Hawkins! Oh my, what a run. Hey, you got to keep that ball a little closer to your body, but they will use a timeout one way or another. This time it's an injury, though. Try to waste the clock, win the game. Who would have thought the ground game would have been a huge part of this? As they're going to get a stop there, only a gain of 2. The run with Gibbs has been real iffy at times, but we're going to trust it. I don't even know where we're handing this ball off at this point. And he gets a lot of blocks! And almost a chance to win it there. I think at this point, though, you're going to try to just potentially just kneel it out and kick the field goal, actually. Why risk a fumble? I mean, they have the timeout, but it's not going to be enough, as we're going to easily force the last play of regulation to be a field goal. Just comes down if we can hit it or not. Which, I mean, in theory is... Wait, did I just sell? I'm going to call it timeout. I couldn't tell if I called kneel or spike there for a second. Pretty sure that's a kneel, though. Just making sure, okay? We look like the most unable, incapable team possible, calling a timeout before kneeling. Hey, you know what? You can't take the timeouts with you when you die. Yes, I'm not losing it. I meant to say that, all right? Of course, hurting Gamble's yards per carry a little bit. They're hyped up, yet I don't know if they'd realize the situation at hand. A little bit of wind against us, but even though we had a little issues earlier, this should be a chip shot. Gonna send these, well, I guess they're at home. Send this happy home team fandom back to their domiciles, if you will, as we are likely going to win the game. Start off the season 1-0. They made us kick it a little early. Field goals up and good for the win. Of course, I'm not some sort of nutcase, so I will be squibbing this damn thing. And we miss a car. Might have been a huge pop. 30-27, an absolute choke meltdown in the fourth, but thankfully we were able to hold on. We got a final field goal right before it was over. It's just crazy how the game works. How you just, like, you look like you're just going to smoke them, you're going to run away with it, and then out of nowhere you just, you know, you just get stopped. You can't do anything, and you barely hold on. Of course, looking at the numbers, the rushing numbers looked okay, but that's because Gamble really did a lot. Obviously, we were pressured way more than them. A lot of those interceptions. I mean, the one interception was a terrible decision. The second one was just, I mean, Diami not playing well. I'm going to be honest with you. That was not a good showing for him in week 1 at all. I mean, he was easily the worst receiver on the field, and I'm talking worse than Cole Turner, who obviously we do like a lot, but he's the backup tight end. You know, he's a backup. You know, he's not around right now to be the starter, so it's pretty bad. Tutu Atwell with a huge play. Kind of disappeared a little bit outside of that, though, but still a good game. Diami 4 for 51. Woodley 4 for 53. Obviously, Ferguson struggled a little bit, but he is the number 1. He's the X guy with multiple guys usually covering him, so can't really be blamed. As far as sacks go, we had a couple. We had a little bit of pressure. Picks, they had a couple with their older guys, and obviously ours were for the younger fellas. But ultimately, we will win after taking the the first game victory. It really is frustrating, though, talking about, you know, trying not to have an interception in the first game, and you come away with 2 thrown. One of them was just awful by the receiver. The other one just, you know, more pressure as usual, and you know, kind of made a read that wasn't there. Thought, like I said, he was going to jump down on Cole Turner. Once again, it looked like he may have, you know, maybe protected it, but you know, he didn't have to worry about that as we were forced to throw it earlier than we kind of wanted to. But yeah, you just got to take Cole Turner there, even if it's only going to be a 4 to 5 yard gain. But regardless of how many picks were thrown, we did end up winning, and that's the main focus Going up against Atlanta next week at home for our season opener, if you will, the home season opener. Maybe a breakout, I'm trying to think. I mean, it really wasn't a crazy game. Maybe 2-2 Atwell, perhaps. Defensively, we had a couple of plays. Porter, man, that hit stick fumble, we were looking for it, and it happened, but absolute sells on the defense. That should have been a recovery, and we just missed it. But still, like I said, the victory is all that matters. 3-point narrow choke of a victory, but we still win. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel for PKR Plays for non-Madden stuff. And there's kind of some talks about maybe dropping the quarter length to maybe 9 minutes or maybe 8 minutes, perhaps. I'm not sure. I mean, I like where it's at now, but maybe 9 minutes. I just think 9 looks so dumb, you know? Like, I think 5, 8, 10, 15 are like the best looking numbers for, you know, actually playing. 9 just seems weird, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, of course. And that is about it. If there's anything else, like, you know, rookie names, I kind of like what we have right now, or there's positions you want to see switch, like maybe you don't like the return man. Maybe you want to see Wang Wu back as the number 1, or, you know, perhaps, I don't know, the safety you don't like, Sharp. Sharp was a little iffy. He was kind of all over the place, not going to lie. And then Diami, after that performance, he's going to be on a super short leash. Sky Moore may take that spot back, but I think Tutu probably deserves a start. He's just been the most consistent guy when it matters most. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!